Hi everyone, in this video I am going to explain about stem modifications. Now the definition of stem modifications. If stem can change morphologically and permanently to perform some other biological function other than normal functions called stem modifications. Stem modifications are three types: underground stem modifications, aerial stem modifications, and subaerial stem modifications. Let's see the very first type of modifications, underground stem modifications. The underground stems situated below the surface of the soil protect themselves against unfavorable conditions of weather and the attack of animals, and serve as storehouses for reserve food material and in vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Their stem nature can be distinguished by the presence of nodes and internodes, scale leaves. At the nodes they contain axillary buds, in the axils of scale leaves, and a terminal bud. Underground stem modifications are four types, such as rhizome, corm, stem tuber, and bulb. I am repeating again: rhizome, corm, stem tuber, and bulb. Let's see about rhizome. A rhizome is a thick horizontally growing stem which usually stores food material. It has nodes and internodes, scale leaves, axillary buds, adventitious roots, and a terminal bud. Scale leaves enclosing the axillary buds are seen arising from the nodal points of the stem. Axillary buds helps in vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Some of the axillary buds develop into branches which grow upwards into the air and then produces normal green foliage leaves for photosynthesis purpose. Usually, the growing points of the rhizome continue to remain underground, causing an elongation of the rhizome. Adventitious roots develops from the lower surface of rhizome, example ginger and turmeric. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of rhizome. See, it is ginger. Adventitious roots are present on lower surface. It is differentiated into nodes and internodes. It contains scale leaves. It contains vegetative buds, which helps in vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. The foliage leaves, which are green in color, which are present in above ground for photosynthesis purpose. The second type of underground stem modification is corm. A corm is greatly swollen underground basal portion of an erect stem. It grows vertically in the soil. The swelling is due to the storage of reserve food material. It bears scale leaves and axillary buds. Axillary buds helps in vegetative propagation. At the end of the growing season, the aerial parts will die. With the return of favorable conditions, usually one axillary bud or rarely more than one axillary bud which is near to the apex develop into a new shoot utilizing the food reserve material in the old corm. The new plant produces a new corm at its base. Example, Amorphophallus and Colocasia. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of Amorphophallus. See, daughter corms which are formed by axillary buds. Lower base contains adventitious roots differentiated into nodes and internodes. How underground it is growing, everything is in diagram. Colocasia also best example for corm. Let's see the third type of underground stem modification, stem tuber. Stem tuber is a swollen end of an underground stem and stem branch tips. Stem tuber covered by a brown layer called periderm. Each tuber is irregular in shape due to the deposition of food materials like starch. On the surface of each tuber, leaf scars are seen. These leaf scars are the impressions of fallen scale leaves. Each scale leaf scar encloses or represents an axillary bud. This axillary bud called eye, which helps in vegetative propagation. Example, potato. Let's see the diagrammatic representation. In the underground, the stem or stem branch tips stores food material and became tuberous, which is called stem tuber, covered by a brown layer called periderm. In this potato, they contains small buds which are called eyes, which helps in vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Now, the very last type of underground stem modification is bulb. In this type, the stem is underground, reduced and represented by a short disc-like structure called bulb. It produces axillary buds called daughter bulbs, helps in vegetative reproduction. As usual, lower surface produces adventitious roots. Bulb doesn't store any food material. Examples, onion and garlic. In bulbs of onion and garlic, the inner leaves are fleshy while the outer ones are dry, which is called a tunicated bulb. Leaf bases from a complete covering or tunic. The apical bud of the bulb produces the shoot. The axillary bud sometimes produces daughter bulbs in garlic. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of bulb. Here the reduced stem is actual bulb. It contains adventitious roots in lower surface. On the above, they contain stored scale leaves called tunicated bulb. Here, bulb does not store any food material. In next video, we can discuss remaining types of stem modifications. Thank you.